The next story we're reviewing is actually in line with the resurgence of Boko Haram in northeast Nigeria. And Boko Haram continued its reign of terror in northeast Nigeria, even as the federal government claimed that the group was technically defeated. Now, on February 19, 2018, the group attacked Government Girls Science and Technology College in Dapchi, Yobe State, where they actually abducted about 110 schoolgirls, including Leah Sharibu, following the federal government's negotiation with Boko Haram. About 104 of the girls were released at some point. So,
except for
Leah Sharibu.
Yeah. And I think she's
she's still there.
She's
still
there. To hop on to this larger point about how the socioeconomic problems in the Northeast would continue to feed into the insurgency. When you look at bed rates, for example, right? Take a wild guess as to which country has the highest bed rates in the world. It's our northern neighbor, Niger. And you look at all of the Nigerian states that border Niger have similar bed rates to Niger. As a matter of fact, I consistently tend to make the argument that a lot of those states have more in common with Niger and with Chad
than they do
with
us
the
on
South.
this side. Yes,
as it were. And so these are some of the issues which are less talked about when it comes to dealing with the insurgency issue. You also have a situation where the war has essentially been fought in a bit of a media black hole. So we really do not understand what's going on. It's like, again, happy back to the point that Tunji made about greater transparency in governance.
Sure.
How much have we actually spent trying to deal with the security side of the situation? What is the total humanitarian cost? How many Nigerians have been affected by it? We hear ballpark figures like 30,000 people have been killed since 2011, 2.1 million people have been displaced, but there is no real transparency in the end in terms of how the government is trying to deal with this. And so we had a situation where twice or thrice last year, the government came out and they asked the National Assembly, the federal government actually asked the National Assembly for supplementary funding, and the reason they gave was the situation in the Northeast. Whereas nobody really knows how much has been spent on dealing with that problem.
And this is the thing, you see, with Boko Haram, I think it's again, it's typical of us as a people and the way we respond to issues. So we go from apathy, not doing anything, to like suddenly, that's what we did. So we went from GJ, who like, oh God, don't know what to do. How do I do it? Everybody wants me to shoot a gun. I'm not an army general. And to the army general comes in, and it's a case of, Boko Haram was winning. Remember when they were winning all the media wars?
Yeah.
Boko Haram was winning all the media wars, and it was like, no, we got to win this. And it's a case of, like Rambo, just shoots randomly, no strategy, or at least no known or seeming. It didn't seem like there was a strategy. So that's what we've always had with Boko Haram. You've had that, and now, like Ikemesit said, it's a media black hole. And basically it's a case of who's winning the media war. Literally, that's what Boko Haram has come, because you have to accept that there's a lot of fake stories that go out about the war on Boko Haram now, whether it's fake stories on the side of the government or fake stories that are anti-government.
So, just so we also be reminded that on March 1st, 2018, the year being reviewed, many people were killed when the Boko Haram sect actually rained attack on Ran community in Borno State, and where they actually killed 3 aid workers and 8 soldiers as well. And they did go away. They kidnapped actually the 3 international committee of Red Cross workers, Hawa Liman, Saifura Korsa, and Alice Loksha. Unfortunately, Hawa
they killed one, didn't they?
There's another part to it, which of course is no body of people ever likes military. I'm trying to use my words carefully now. Military occupation, so to say.
Yes.
It's always great for the military to remain in the barracks, right? And that's why we have the police. And when the military comes to chase the guys out, it's always great if the police leave with you, because they're closer, they have a similar mindset, similar orientation. Another thing that is also happening there is that while, of course, these people do not identify with Boko Haram, they also generally don't necessarily identify with the military.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
With the government.
You get, so the military is not really for us, and the Boko Haram are not really for us, but the Boko Haram look closer to us than the military do. So there is a lot. So you see, the war is really not about carrying guns.
No. It's a war of minds. It's a war of the soul.
Okay,
it's
so
psychological.
it's like George W. Bush's famous comments about winning the war of hearts and minds.
Yes.
As you rightly said, the war is not about winning the war, but it's about winning the war with a humanitarian phase.
Yeah.
One of the challenges that we have had going into this war was having our military win this war, but subjecting the safety of the people in those areas to great risk. Which is why it would seem that every time we are dealing with a guerrilla warfare, I need to make that point here. This is not a regular army, so that you don't see the people you fight. They are like fascists. They are ghosts,
and they don't have to work to rules in the same way you have to.
They don't fight with the same set of rules that you fight with. But because you are an established and a regular military, you are subscribed to a number of international treaties. There's a chance that because you have an obligation, you must fight this war with a human face because of the safety of the people.
Because it's not even just because of the safety of the people, because you need the people to help you win the
war.
Because
they know that place.
Exactly.
They know that place.
Know who the Boko Haram people are.
They know
They know where they hide out. Because that's why you see that if you ever read the news, where you see that the vigilante in the community, they always win.
Yes,
and you wonder why people that are not properly trained in the JTF tend to always win because they know
it's their hood. It's their community. It's their hood.
So they always it's like Vietnam. Like America and Vietnam.
Yes.
I mean, America had superior firepower,
but
they couldn't win in
But
Vietnam.
the floor,
I mean,
what you call it, those
military happened in Israel. If you recall, remember Hezbollah? Israel couldn't fight that war, couldn't engage Hezbollah directly because they were human shields. And so what Israel did was to exercise some bit of restraint. It was easier for them to win that war because after a while, there was a backlash. People were beginning to say, how do you use human beings as shield to protect yourself from that war? Over time, so what Israel did was they continued a certain advocacy, broadcast. But with time, these people moved away.
If there's anything, we need more of the police. We need more of humanitarian.
Unfortunately, we need to reach out. Capacity when we talk about the police.
But can I quickly ask?
But do we want to win the war? If we want to win the war, these are things we must do.
But you know that there are certain things that are inevitable. Like using the military. I'm
not saying so. The military have the capacity to fight, but you see, fighting, like you said, it's guerrilla tactics. They're not coming head-on. They split, disappear into the crowd. Right? So you want the people to point them out when they're in the crowd.
But
right?
So just hold your thought on that one. Can I ask this question is, do you think if the federal government showed more transparency on how they're dealing with and approaching the fight against Boko Haram, it might just help?
I'm not just sure it's transparency. I'm saying empathy.
I don't want to know. I mean, remember just the other day, Daily Post did.
Daily Trust.
Daily Trust rather posted that the strategy document, and I thought that was so irresponsible. No, I don't.
No, they didn't post the strategy document. They just said the military had suffered a huge reversal over the Christmas holidays, and they essentially said the combined force of the Army, Navy, and the Air Force were preparing a major offensive.
That's so wrong. Which is irresponsible. It's irresponsible. No, that's a Trump. That's the Donald Trump way. No. That's the Donald Trump way of trying to win a war, which is a case of I'm going to come and knock on your door. You know, that's the Donald. No, but going back to.
I don't think it was right.
I thought it was irresponsible.
You think it was right for that information to have been.
In the public domain.
There was a sufficient lack of detail in the reporting, I think, to make it vague.
They may not have deliberately given details about the merger, so to speak, but by merely disclosing that there is going to be a merger between the Army, the Navy, and the Air Force, you've given a lot away.
And Ikemesit, you know,
they already work and cooperate.
Ikemesit, but
Boko Haram is aware.
But here's the thing. we know that they do joint military actions all the time, right? In other, when things get really sort of escalated, yeah, they will do joint military actions. And I would, for me, what was irresponsible there is, I would have rather the information came from the army, because they would know how to say it.
Yeah, but
no, they would know how to.
The army has not been known before coming.
But that's not the point. That is not the point. You can't throw the baby out of the bath.
But then again,
you can't throw the baby. You can't throw the baby out of the bath water. Do you understand me? So we need. If the army had been the ones that were releasing that, they would have known what to release and how to release it, and the information that should have been released. But going back to the whole Boko Haram thing is, you know, You asked some questions, and I think Tunji was going there. And for me, it's a case of, look, unless we win people's hearts and mind, Boko Haram will continue to get recruits. And they don't have to fight hard to get recruits. Because the devil makes use of idle hands. It's the same thing that we have in the whole drugs epidemic in Nigeria, you know, where, you know, stadiums that are not being used, parks not available, the youth not being engaged, unemployment rising.
We actually
You've
need
got
to show these people
and you
that
can't,
their lives matter
yes,
to us.
and you can't stop investing in the Northeast. You just can't.
I'm afraid we might.
Every life matters.
Every life does matter. We will continue in the next story. Every life sure matters. So we thank you for joining us. We'll be back with more reviews for 2018.